Hello and happy Thoughtfully Fit Thursday. I am Darcy Loma, and today we're going to go a little bit of a different direction and talk about digital decluttering for a thoughtful workday. Last year, my whole intention was on minimalism, and I tackled that, I thought, to a great degree. Well, I had no idea how much more there was to do on digital decluttering until my current guest that's going to come on came into my life. So the last 6 years, Deb McKenzie has worked with me. Many of you might have seen her on some of our Thoughtfully Fit Thursdays, and she left to pursue her passion of real estate. And so I am thrilled that Cara Barnes has joined our team and has replaced Deb in doing everything imaginable as it relates to systems, processes, website, client relations, proposals, CRM, you name it. And she's literally a rock star, and she has transformed my life. So we decided it'd be fun to have her come and share a couple of tips on how she helped me to digitally declutter. And with that, I'd love, Cara, first for you to just introduce yourself and let people know a little bit about who you are.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me. So I live in Denver with my husband, and we do a lot of mountain biking, and I do a lot of yoga. And I have this fantastic little dog named Cosmo.
Yay!
He's great.
I love it.
And like Darcy said, my role is sort of focused on organization and creating systems and finding opportunities to streamline. So I really enjoy tech and kind of nerd out on that. And in working with Darcy, it's been very satisfying because she also I'll share something with her and she goes, "Oh my goodness!" and she's just as excited as I am about it. So we jive really well, and that's why we decided to talk about this today.
Yeah, I think you and I maybe get a little more excited than the rest of the world, but hopefully some of the tips that we're going to share with you, everybody else will get excited about as well. We thought that we would structure it through the lens of the Thoughtfully Fit core, which everybody who's watched knows that it's all about pause, think, act. So the first tip, if you were to give people a tip or tips on how to bring in the pause in the digital declutter, what would you say?
Yes. So the first thing I want to share that has been a huge helper in me in creating pause in my own life is the Snooze feature on Google. So Microsoft has this as well. And if you are using a different device than what I'm giving in this example, hi, I'm Mindu.
She wanted to come too. So since Cosmo made it, this is Mindu. Keep going, sorry.
So yeah, Microsoft has this feature as well. If you are using a different device, or if you're curious about how does this work with the system that I have, feel free to put that in the comments and I'll respond and give you some tips on how it works with the software that you use. But I use Google, so this is where I'm going to show the example. So if you receive an email and you open it up and you're not quite ready to respond, and it might be for a few reasons. It might be, this is a frustrating email. I don't like that I'm seeing this and I'm not in the best headspace to respond right now. Or it might be, this just isn't a priority right now and it's causing a distraction. Or maybe the conversation's moving too quickly. There's confusion. The thread is popping up fast and you think, I'm not going to respond until things kind of slow down. Using this Snooze feature is, as Darcy has said in the past, a game changer. It's fantastic. And it can either be, I'm going to snooze this for a few hours and come back to this later today, or I'm going to snooze this for a couple weeks because this is just not a priority and I need it out of my brain. So kind of depending on the urgency of the email or what you need, what you have going on, you can select a time. So I'll snooze this until next Monday, and then it leaves your inbox. So you can mentally drop it out of your brain and it's not going to be showing up, cluttering your stuff throughout your day. If you want to look back and see, what have I snoozed, or, what am I waiting on? You can click snooze and it's going to show up the list right here. So you're not losing it. It's not, disappearing forever. So that's a great tool. And one more use for it. Oh, I lost it. Let me think for a second.
As you're thinking, I will just say that this is, as you said, is game changer. This, like the ability to have a clean inbox and know that I don't have to remember something and it just pops up, is fabulous. I love this trick.
Yes, agreed. Me too. Me too. And it's like back to the engaging your core. It's such a great way to design pausing into your systems, right? So don't quickly hit reply, respond on an email, and to get it out of your inbox or out of your brain. Find other systems, design habits that help you build pause into your natural routines, right? One other thing that I feel like it's in the same vein here, and it also helps to create a natural pause in your workflow. It's the schedule feature. So again, Microsoft Outlook has this as well. Most email platforms at this point do. If you are ready to send off an email and maybe you're feeling like, oh, I don't want them to respond today, I want to slow this conversation down. Again, creating more pause, kind of slowing down the interactions. You can click this arrow and it's going to give you an option to schedule to send. It automatically gives you options. Well, that's not filled out, but it automatically gives you options of like 8 a.m. next day or Monday morning of next week at 8 a.m. So it's a way to build that speed into your systems to get it out of your brain, but to not be reactive or quick. If you might come back to it later and say, "Ooh, I'm going to tweak this language," or you might get more information and come back and change what you're going to send off. So those are a couple of great tools for your pause.
I love that. And that one is also a natural way to be able to slow down that conversation, to schedule the pause without having to worrying about remembering it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Awesome.
Yep.
So then we thought, okay, what about think? The pause sets you up to be able to think, to have more time to process, to think through, to be intentional. What tips do you have there?
Yeah, sure. So this is one that Darcy and I have been working on lately. And again, I'm showing you a system for Apple products. So an iPhone and a MacBook computer, for example, they have lots of alternatives for this. So if you're an Android user or you have a PC, or if you just don't like the Apple apps, they've got Trello and Evernote and Zoho Writer. There's tons of these same types of programs. If you want more information about that, feel free to comment at me and I can let you know. Here's some ideas for you if you're not an Apple user. But this is called the Notes app for you Apple users. And one of the things that's great about this particular program is that you can sync between your phone and your computer. So if you're out and about and you put a note on your phone, next time you sit down at your desktop, it's going to be there for you on your computer. So there's a lot of uses for this. People use it for personal stuff like a shopping list. That's a really common one that allows you to be thoughtful and taking notes over time, so you're not having to hold in your brain, what were we going to have for dinner, or what did I want to get at the store. I also use this for keeping track of gift ideas. I use this for any sort of like quick links, like things that text that I need to grab a lot throughout my workday. Having this open in my notes document and keeping my notes clean and tidy so that I can utilize them for things that support my natural workflow is huge. Like, I think a lot of people use this in sort of a sloppy way, or they don't really think much about it. They'll throw things in there sometimes and forget about it. But if you can be intentional and slow down and design a really good system that supports you, this can be a fantastic tool. It just requires a little bit of that time up front designing, how might I use this to improve my workflow.
And that's where you've really helped me, is to create folders for the notes. And so I've got a work folder and I've got a personal folder, and that has been so valuable. And even over lunch, I went downstairs. My daughters are still virtual schooling. My daughter Josie says, "Alexa, add bread to the shopping list." And it automatically, because we've got them connected, put bread on my notes so that when I go shopping, I know it's there.
Oh, it's fantastic. I love that.
So then the last one is to act, right? You pause, you think, and then you want to act in a thoughtful way. What tips do you have there?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is, again, I'm going to show you the Apple version. Same thing. Lots and lots of program ideas, Asana, Trello, a million other online programs that will help you keep reminders top of mind. So for ACT, I chose reminders because this, again, is about creating a system that you can feel confident dropping out of your brain and sort of relax your brain and know that it's going to come back around to the top of your attention. So again, like what Darcy was saying, kind of creating and designing the folders or different systems that work for you. You can create different reminders lists. Like you can see here, we've got reminders, groceries, camping, work, and family. Those are great examples of things that you might need some kind of action, and that's what makes this different than notes. Notes are good for thinking and kind of organizing your thoughts and being intentional about how am I going to move forward. Whereas reminders are, okay, move forward. Here's the bling, or the little ping to make it happen. I tend to have my reminders set for like 8 to 10 each morning, so that if I do have something popping up on my reminders, I kind of know to expect it in the morning. And then I make a point to not have any of my reminders due on Saturday and Sunday, because that's a system that works for me. So, again, it's sort of about slowing down, and like, these are not probably new tools for you. It's really about finding smart ways to use them that are actually going to support you. I have monthly reminders, like remember to send out birthday cards. I have weekly reminders, like call my grandma. I have, daily things that pop up on a temporary basis, or reminders like, Cosmo's going to the vet, so don't feed him after 8 a.m. or whatever it is. And again, it's sort of about creating a system so you can drop it out of your brain and trust yourself that you're going to be on top of stuff later, because you've designed a good system for it. I love that.
And I think, we titled this Thoughtfully Fit Thursday, Digital Declutter for a Thoughtful Workday, but really it's a thoughtful life. Because even as you said, you are being very intentional and not setting reminders for the weekend so that you can unplug, and you know that they'll be there when you re-engage with your technology on Monday morning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Cara. And if you have comments or thoughts or questions, Cara is phenomenal and really at finding a solution for anything. You can't have her, but you can borrow her if you need some tips. So thank you for joining us today. And everybody, happy Thoughtfully Fit Thursday. Our 1-minute workout for you is to pause and think about which of these tips might serve you, or maybe there's another tip that you have that you could share with us in the comments. So go ahead and act and put a comment as well in the comments to let us know if you have other tips.
Awesome.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.